Hello and welcome to People and Politics. We're going to briefly go over the syllabus. If you can see 23 pages, I'm not going to read all 23 pages verbatim. You can go through this on your own for the most part. We are online anytime, meaning there are scheduled times where you have to turn work in, but I'm never going to ask you to hop on Teams and have a meeting as a class. This is called asynchronous learning, meaning you do it on your own time as long as it's within, the deadline. I'm not accepting late work or, work assigned in August and December. Not going to do it. But anyway, my name is Jonathan Parker. My office hours by appointment. That is not me saying I do not want to help you. That is simply an acknowledgement of the fact that faculty tend to schedule office hours and then sit in empty Teams meeting rooms for 3 hours waiting for somebody to show up. If you need help, if you want to talk to me, I am ready, willing, and eager to assist. Just email me and let me know, and we will definitely set something up. My email is right there, Jonathan2779. Make sure you spell Jonathan correctly. You have my name twice here. A lot of people spell it H-O-N or throw an H in there, and I can't answer emails that I never get. I'll respond to emails within a day, 2 tops. So, course description provides a basic introduction to what politics is all about. It looks at why we think and feel as we do about politics and politicians and better informs the student about his or her own and other governmental systems. It also introduces the student to specific political concepts such as the ideologies of democracy, socialism, and communism. Leading political personalities of our time are discussed. The course is applicable toward all certificates and degrees. Group requirements include social sciences, etc., etc., etc. This textbook, Why Politics Matters, an Introduction to Political Science, is required. We are going to read every single page this semester. There are 12 chapters in the book. Make sure you get it. Make sure you get edition 3. There is a newer edition. This is my first semester teaching at Richland, so I'm not sure about the procedure for picking out textbooks or not, but we're with the 3rd right now, so make sure it's edition 3. Just the regular disclaimer, I can alter the syllabus if I need to. I will alert you with as much lead time as humanly possible. All right, things change throughout the semester. So you can get through all that on your own. Here is the topical outline and calendar. As you can see, things are organized in a bi-weekly fashion. So the first module is Monday, August 17th through Sunday, August 30th. You're reading this chapter in the book. It'll cover some of these things. If I wrote down everything that this book covers, we would run to like 50 pages, and I'm not going to do that. The assessments column, it is not a comprehensive list of everything. It's just the big stuff. So make sure that you are looking at your Canvas module as well, and not just this when trying to turn in work. Because as you can see, there's a student survey, there's an introduce yourself discussion that's not listed on here. All right, so we can go through the whole schedule. We're speeding right along. Then Richland's final exam period is from December 8th to December 12th. So if you notice, weeks 15 and 16 are not really weeks 15 and 16. It's about a week and a day. But there isn't going to be a whole lot, in that last little bit. just one chapter and a couple assignments, and that's that. So methods of evaluation, assessment of student learning. So the types of graded activity: chapter tests, 30% of total grade; vocabulary quizzes, 15% of total grade. Now these, since this is a 100 level course, don't get overwhelmed. These quizzes are all multiple choice, asking you, the definition of certain key terms that are important to your understanding of political science. My hope is that you have the book open on the left-hand side of the screen and you're taking the quiz on the right-hand side. So you'll never miss a definition. These should be pretty easy points. I'm just trying to drum them into your head in another way. All right, discussion posts, other classwork is assigned. Again, I can't think of everything, and it is my first time going through this class, so other things might come up. But the chapter tests, there are 12 chapters. You will take a test after 12 chapters, after each chapter, right? You'll notice there's no test 1 or test 2. It's the final exam at the end. So you're taking the chapter tests, you're taking the vocabulary quizzes, you're doing the discussion posts, other things as they come up, and then there'll be a final exam at the end. Standard 10-point rating scale. A is 90 to 100, B 80 to 89, and so on and so forth. So the chapter tests, like I said, this is your primary form of assessment. I'm not giving you a Unit 1 exam, a Unit 2 exam, like that. You're just taking a test at the end of every chapter. So you'll have a test to take after each chapter. You read in the textbook. The questions are designed to test the reading comprehension of topical material from the test. The questions will mostly be multiple choice or true-false in nature. I don't think I have a whole lot of essay questions in there. They are meant to measure what you have learned about a topic after reading and participating in the activities from a module. They will be available to take for the entire time that module is open. For example, like I pointed out, I think the module for weeks 1 and 2 opens on Monday, August 17th, and closes on Sunday, August 30th. You will have until Sunday, August 30th at 11:59 to take the tests, because some weeks there will be more than one test. So do not wait until the last minute to take these tests. They cannot be made up or completed if not finished by the due date. I'm not going to open them back up. You have been warned. Vocabulary quizzes, as I just explained, I'm just trying to drum terms that will be recurring, that you'll need to know and become familiar with into your head. This isn't meant to get you. I'm hoping, again, as I said, you have the book open on one side of your screen and or in front of you if you prefer a paper copy, and the quiz up there. Discussion posts, there will be discussion questions assigned throughout the course. Students are expected to read all the components of each chapter and answer each question based on the knowledge derived from both the text and the lecture material. There will be weekly discussions in most modules. I'll give you a break in a module, maybe 2, but we have to do discussions. They are an important way for us to bring life and practically apply the material we read about in the text and additional readings. You are to complete the assigned reading and then answer the questions given in the discussion prompt, and you will interact and respond with other students by giving feedback to their posts. You must always reply to 2 different people per discussion post. That is important. I've had, at the other schools I work at, absolutely brilliant replies to discussion posts, but they don't respond to 2 different people, so they only end up getting X amount. Typically how I do it, if it's, a 20-point discussion post, 10 is for the discussion and 10 is for the reply, so 5 points per reply, right? And if you only respond to 1, your post and your 1 reply could be brilliant, but you're only getting 15 points because you didn't follow the rules. All right. So you should always answer all the questions and parts of questions asked. You should also cite examples from the textbook or additional readings and relatable experiences from your own life. Now, do not do a blanket copy paste of the text. I don't mind you quoting text. Rule of thumb, if you need to quote, make sure it's 10% or under. So if you write a post of 100 words, if you feel an overwhelming urge to quote something from the book, only 10 words are permissible. Responses to others' posts, to allow for the desired interaction, please go beyond the I agree or disagree type post. Ask questions and give feedback. All posts need to be written with attention given to grammar and spelling. Small errors will not be penalized. You'll come to find in this class, if I only make one error in an assignment that I give you, it's been a great module. If large errors frequently persist, they will be discussed and a loss of points could occur. Also, the length of the post does not necessarily dictate quality, but your post should reflect your thoughts and knowledge after reading on the subject. So here is one example. Who had the better view of government, Plato or Aristotle? I'm pretty detailed in here. So like Plato and Aristotle developed different ideas about politics and government. Plato argued that most citizens lack the knowledge necessary to govern and favored rule by wise and educated leaders. Aristotle took a more practical approach and emphasized the importance of balanced government and the role of the middle class in sustaining democracy. So the initial post, I want 300 to 400 words. Then after reviewing the chapter, answer each of the following questions. It would be cruel and unusual. I know some teachers do this. If I wanted 300 or 400 words per question, 300 to 400 words total. I always try to be as specific as I can be. If there's ever a question, please reach out, right? Then respond to at least 2 classmates, 150 words each. Rule of thumb, that's about 3 substantive sentences. Then this is exactly what I'm looking at. And as I said, worth 20 points. Each response is worth 5 points. So the responses are half the grade. So if you don't respond to anybody, you're only getting a 10 out of 20 if you've written a good post. And it's due by Sunday, August 30th at 11:59. So that is what a discussion looks like. Yeah. I cannot grade what is still in your head. Students will lose points because they think they have fully said what they are thinking. Read before you submit. I'm guilty of that too. Read before you submit. It's something we can all do better at to ensure completion of thought and explanation. At all times, discussions are to remain professional and respectful. Now, I've been at this 9 years. I have never had a problem with this. Please do not be the class in the school where it starts. I've never had a problem with people being professional and respectful. You are to acknowledge, combat, pick the verb, the idea, not the person. You are wrong because page da-da-da in the textbook says there are 100 senators in the United States Congress, not 101 as you have written. That's fine. That's the idea. You're not saying you're so-and-so and so-and-so, you fill in the blank. And you're wrong. So the purpose of the discussions is to expound upon the text and the reading material. It is not a forum to attack others personally. Again, we're engaging with ideas, not personalities. All right. The online attendance policy. Online students are subject to the attendance policy for online courses as stated in the college catalog. Student attendance in an online course is defined as active participation in the course. Participation in this course may take the form of posting to discussion forums, submitting assignments to drop boxes. We will never do this. You're uploading everything to Canvas. There are no drop boxes involved. Honestly, I would not know where to look if I had you put something in a Dropbox. Never going to happen. Or completing quizzes or exams. Students need to participate each week in some way to satisfy the attendance requirement. This school, Richland, is a little bit more strict about attendance than the other schools that I work at. So please actually do this, make sure you're logging on regularly. I do give you latitude, right? Because module 1 is weeks 1 and 2. It goes until August 30th. But that latitude should not be an excuse to not log in and do your work until August 29th. All right. So students need to participate each week, and I will be looking. So important, logging into the course does not qualify as participation and will be counted as meeting the and will not be, counted as meeting the attendance requirement. So Canvas, I can see, everything that everybody is doing. I know who logged into, like, welcome the class, who clicked on this, and who watched the welcome video, and I can see pretty much everything. There's a list of everybody who's in this class. I can see how much time you've spent on the course. You cannot fight with me about how much you've been participating. The computer doesn't lie. So a student can be dropped 7 calendar days after the start of the semester for the following reasons. Failure to meet the attendance requirement is defined above. And again, Richland is stricter about this than some other schools I've been employed with. So please log on frequently during the first week of class, or failure to start the mandatory Canvas orientation during the first week of class if not previously completed, or failure to contact the instructor during the first week of class regarding an inability to complete either number 1 or number 2. So at midterm, the college will administratively drop any student who has failed to meet the attendance requirement as set forth by the instructor. After midterm, students who stop participating in a class without officially dropping a class and who are not administratively dropped may receive a grade of F for the course. This may also have an impact on certain financial aid awards. It is ultimately the responsibility of the student to drop a course. And that is pretty standard across colleges that I've worked at. So any student who cannot meet the attendance requirements for a given week should contact his or her instructor immediately. I want to help you. I do not want to drop people. Please talk to me. Since this is an online class, attendance is not being in a specific place during a given time. It is actively making submissions each week. This is the biggest predictor of success in this course. If you think you may be considered not participating, please contact me. I cannot help you if I do not know your situation. There are indeed reasons that are perfectly valid for deadlines to be extended. Contact me as soon as humanly possible to work out a plan. Since this is a 3-hour course, a 3-credit-hour course, general rule of thumb, you should plan on spending 9 hours working on this particular class. All right, classroom procedures. Email is the quickest and most effective way to get in touch with me. Utilize the email address listed at the top of page 1 of the syllabus to get in contact. Canvas doesn't always push through. I don't know if it's my equipment or what. I will see an email that you send to my actual Richland account probably before the Canvas inbox. As an additional note, emails should be addressed to Mr. Parker. It's just a preference. I don't have a doctorate. I'm not entirely sure why I'm against being called professor. I just think of 90-year-old men with white hair. I'm not that. Mr. Parker. All assignments must be submitted via Canvas. There will never be an instance, again, where you're turning something into a Dropbox. So like this, the short writing assignment, again, I tell you exactly what to do, the requirements, how I'm grading you, and there'll be an option to upload. And you should always take that. For preference, save your work as a PDF and then upload it. But it's not the end of the world if there's a Word document. I'm not going to grade any Google Doc that you submit. no Google Docs will be graded. Most of the time, you don't even give me editorial access. I have to email and beg to look at the assignment. You can blame students I've had at my other schools for that. Academic citation etiquette. Whenever you turn in a written assignment, you are required to cite your source if A, you use a direct quote from a book, article, website, etc., or B, you paraphrase a chunk of text from the book, article, website, etc., or C, you present a theory, argument, opinion that does not belong to you. It is okay. In fact, it is appreciated to acknowledge other people's ideas, theories, or arguments. It takes time for all of us to develop our own original ideas. Essentially, providing correct citations allow you to show that you are borrowing from existing sources to develop your own answer. This is perfectly fine. Bibliography. At the end of your own writing assignments, you are required to provide a list of sources that you have utilized for the assignment. I'm not going to be, if you're getting your information from a lecture video I post or from the textbook, you don't need to cite it. If, however, you go and you use another textbook from another class, perfectly valid. I mean, we're going to be looking at political theory in Chapter 2. I've got some philosophy texts that I'll be using as part of that unit. So, there are other things, but cite them. If it's not the class textbook, if it's not a video that I put up, and that includes, for example, crash course I have, or a TED Talk I may post. If it's a resource outside the module, the long and the short of it, cite it. If it's in the module, don't worry about it. Inline citations are required also, where you use an outside source, and the outside source we're defining as anything that's not in the module itself. But if you have any doubts about whether something needs to be cited, please just create a citation for it. Don't take chances with your grade. I've never taken points off for oversighting something. I just mentioned that you probably didn't need to create so many citations, and we leave it there. Wikipedia is not an academic resource. Please do not use Wikipedia. You're going to regret it if you do. I've had terrible experiences with Wikipedia. Anybody can get on there, edit it, and make any article say anything. That's not an academic resource in my mind. I'm going to lose this argument eventually. I know that, but you're in my class right now. No Wikipedia. Academic misconduct and plagiarism. The first time I catch you plagiarizing, so passing off somebody's work as your own, somebody else's work as your own, and this includes artificial intelligence use, I will give you a 0 for whatever assignment you have plagiarized without the opportunity to redo it. And this includes the major writing assignments. And there are some big writing assignments like this one, that's 30 points, but there's one later on that's 50, and they get heavy a little later on once you've got your footing. So the second time I catch you plagiarizing, I will fail you for the course. This is simply a statement of fact. Do not test me. You will lose. Other types of plagiarism include copying or obtaining information from another student, contracting for original work with a third party, and generating or revising assignments with the aid of artificial intelligence tools that were not expressly authorized by me. And I am not authorizing any artificial intelligence tools at all. The use of AI is strictly prohibited under all circumstances in this course. I am never going to okay the use of AI. You don't need it in this class. You really don't. Late submissions, as a rule, I don't accept late work. However, I get it. Life, we're not meeting in a classroom. Stuff's going to happen. However, I have been lied to enough that I am demanding proof. If we get to a point where, and I've had this happen, we've had a 5th grandma's funeral with the same student. I need to see something from a funeral home. Also, if you email me and say I couldn't make the deadline because I went to a Taylor Swift concert, or my biology homework I felt was more important, you're not going to be turning anything in either. So artificial intelligence, I'm stating it, what is it, 3 times now, this must be important. In this course, you must create your own original work to be submitted for a grade. The use of artificial intelligence, including but not limited to language engines, text spinners, image creators, chatbots, etc., is prohibited at any stage of an assignment. Coursework that is found to be AI generated in whole or in part is subject to the following consequences: failure of assignment and written account submitted to the appropriate college administrator with the first offense, and failure in course and written account submitted to the appropriate college administrator for a second offense. Now, I have had conversations with administration regarding the AI policy. Teachers are free to set their own as of right now at Richland. And if it is in the syllabus, the administration backs it up. So, for purposes of Political Science 100, if you use AI and I catch you, it will not end well for you. This is just a statement of fact. All right? They will back up what is in my syllabus. Human relations policy, you can read these things on your own. Academic integrity. All students are expected to maintain academic integrity in their academic work and honesty in all dealings with the college. A student who cheats, plagiarizes, or furnishes false, misleading information to the college is subject to disciplinary action up to and including failure of a class or suspension, expulsion from the college. Don't make me go there. I mean, it's a pain. You know, you're filling out forms in triplicate. Just stay honest, please. With an increase in the availability of online writing tools, students should be aware that submitting work created by or assisted by AI software as their own could be considered plagiarism. It is considered plagiarism in Political Science 100. All right. NetID, you should know that you don't share your password. Course material, everything I've posted that I post is considered official course content. Work must be confined to the classroom and should not be shared outside the classroom without the express permission of the person who created it. If there's really something that you like, shoot me an email and by all means we can discuss it. If not, I don't claim that I've made everything, but a lot of this is original. So check with me. Copyright notice. The materials used in this course are protected by copyright law. Faculty lectures, course supplementary materials, articles, quizzes, and exams, etc., 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 are among the properties protected. Any questions a student may have about the use of course materials can be explained by the instructor or library staff. I don't have a problem sharing, just ask. Okay? Retention, completion time. Title IX. Okay. Richland Community College is committed to providing for all students a safe learning environment that is free of all forms of discrimination and sexual harassment, including sexual assault, domestic violence, dating violence, and stalking. If you or someone you know has experienced or experiences any of these incidents, know that you are not alone. All Richland Community College faculty members are responsible employees, which means that if you tell any faculty or staff about a situation involving sexual harassment, sexual assault, dating violence, domestic violence, or stalking, that individual must share the information with the Title IX coordinator. Although the notification is required, you will control how your case will be handled, including whether or not you wish to pursue a formal complaint. Richland's goal is to make sure students are aware of the range of available options and have access to the needed resources. And we have someone you can speak to about that if you need to. There is a Student Success Center. Again, I am not on campus. I have no plans to be on campus this semester unless the department dictates otherwise as far as my contract is concerned. So these services are pretty standard amongst colleges. Please use them, utilize them. I did not have all of this when I was doing my undergrad. I'm a little jealous, so utilize what you've got. Academic Success Center, accommodations, as far as those are concerned, I give you, I give you an inordinate amount of time to complete work. And like the chapter 1 test, there's not a timer on it. You only have one opportunity to do it, which means please do not exit out of Canvas, because whatever you have done will be submitted and that'll be your grade. But there's no timer on it. All right. So if you have another accommodation you need, by all means, let's have a dialogue. But if it's just about extra time for tests, I adopted the policy long ago that everybody in all my online classes is going to get time and a half or no time limit at all for tests. It got a little crazy with how many settings I was adjusting. So these are all services available to you. There's the Learning Resource Center. Richland understands that mental health and wellness are essential to student success and offer services that support your life and well-being. Mental health is health. I'm a firm believer in that, so take advantage of this if you need it. Student tech support. Now this, I'm not going to read it, but please talk to these guys if you have a problem. It's not that I don't want to help you, it's just that I can't. All right. My job is to teach you about people and politics and give you an introduction to government. I've had emails asking for advice about what to do for like a broken computer chip or an overheating hard drive. I have no idea. These guys would. Even like if you get locked out of your account, I have no idea what to do about that. Tech support is the play. All right. My purview ends at course material. All right. Beyond that, I cannot help. So Microsoft Student Advantage program allows Richland Community College students to download and install the Microsoft Office Pro Plus software on their personal technical devices at no additional cost. This is great. I just shelled out $100+ for a year-long subscription to Microsoft before I got hired here. So download Microsoft Office, please. While you're a student, you get it free. Perkins program, resources for students. Richland gives you everything you need to succeed. So just take advantage. Don't be afraid to ask a question. And please don't be afraid to reach out to me. I'm here to help. And again, just because office hours are by appointment, it doesn't mean I'm unavailable. All you have to do is ask. All right. If you're still with me at this point, thank you for watching. I look forward to a wonderful 16 weeks working with you. Have a good week.